I want to say before I start the video, please support my channel by like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get back to the video. Hello and welcome to Intuition with Marnie Lynn. How are you today? I'm doing really good. So today is number 48 in a row. I am so amazed at how many I have done in a row and how it's taking up my whole life. I can do a video, record a video in like 10-15 minutes, be all done, and then I go and put it on my computer, and I've been having computer issues for about a week, so it's taken me like 8 or 9 hours to get an edited video up online. I'm very frustrated with it, but it's also part of life, so I'm just going to work through it. Been watching a lot of things on the internet about what's going on in the world, and I'm just going to step back from that today and talk about something way more positive than what's going on. Went for a really lovely walk this morning, clear blue sky, no chemtrails. It's just beautiful out there, calm, no breeze, nothing. And it is cold. We don't have snow, we don't have ice, but it is cold out there. And when a rainforest gets cold with all the humidity, it is cold. Not like the prairies, but it is cold. So Leela and I did a bit of a walk. She checked out some of the branches that have been falling from the trees or ripped from the trees, it looked more like, and having a good sniff around. It's fun seeing the world from her vantage point, and she is maybe 11 inches off the ground at the top of her head. She's a miniature pincer, and she's brown colored, and she loves food, and I've been feeding her way too much, and she's got quite the attitude and very easily hurt feelings, and her nose is out of joint right now because I have the door closed and she can't come in, but it's a nice day and she can go sit out on the balcony. Wonderful little being that's come into my life, and the reason why I'm living where I'm living right now, which is right beside the ocean, is because the building I'm living in allows people to have pets. So I moved here 7 years ago in May, and I've had Leela in my life since the 1st of June of that same year. So we've been together 7 years, and she is still learning how to trust me as I'm learning how to trust her. And I've come to the realization that she is just a little tiny being that's chosen to come and spend her life with me. And she has really helped me to grow and to heal from a lot of the past abuse and different issues that I've had in my life. Very interesting story too with Leela. When I got her, I found somebody talking on one of my groups that I was in on Facebook, and they were saying about pet whisperers. So I got in contact with a woman who lives on the island here, and I sent her an email and questions for Leela. I ended up having 35 questions. And the woman sent back an audio of the interview that she had with Leela, and it was fascinating. The whisperer said that she'd never had that many questions to be asked with a pet, and she didn't really know quite how to do it and had to interview Leela twice. And she said that what I would notice would be Leela would all of a sudden be kind of looking off into the distance and not really, just kind of like she was staring at something. And the woman did mental telepathy with her, and we found out that Leela and I have had 5 lifetimes together. And she has not always reincarnated as a dog, but she did this time. and she had some words of wisdom for the whisperer to say to me, and she talked about having seen my altars, and she was very concerned when they would come out, and some she didn't really trust, but she wanted me to stop thinking negative thoughts and to start thinking more positive, and to be more present in the now than in the past, and what I could not do anything about now that it's happened. And when I got that from the whisperer, I was able to look back on it, and I could see all the times that Leela would be jumping and doing this towards me. And I realized that's when I was splitting, and she was trying to get me to come back. So she was kind of like waving her arms in front of me. So when I see her acting like that, I think that somebody has come out that she doesn't really want to be around, and she's trying to get me to come back. And most of the time it does bring me back, but there are times when I don't see her doing it, and I have noticed that she's gone into her, I have different houses set up in my apartment for her to go into to escape from, and just to feel safe in her environment. And a lot of the time, if I'm switching too much, she will go into one of her houses and just stay out of the way. Not that I become violent or anything, but she can tell the personality that has come out, and she doesn't want to be around, which I understand. And another thing, going through some of my papers, I came across a conversation that I had with my daughter with regards to my altars. And she said that she has to deal with about 11 different altars that come out when she's around. And that kind of caught me off guard, because I think that I'm always one here. But I am learning by the editing that I can see the different facial features. And there's one that comes out with very, very sad eyes, that when I see this altar as I'm editing, I'm like, holy crap, that's not a face that I'm used to when I see it talking. So I have also come to see that in me doing the videos, I have a group of, I think it is 5 or 6 that like to work on makeup, hair, wardrobe, all that kind of stuff. And I have one for sure, Lewis, who sets up the cameras, the backdrop, the lights, things like that. Make sure that the tabletop in front of me has what I need to do a video. And so that makes 7 people that I know of, but only one has come forward with their name. And a lot of altars will not even have a name, because why? And I can feel my face is changing because another altar wants to come out, but I'm not going to let this one. Okay, so yeah, it's quite different having DID. So if you have mental health issues like I have from past abuse and mistreatment in childhood, you're not alone. And I'm sharing with you what I go through, so you can maybe see if it relates or resonates with you, give you some ideas of how to look at your own behavior to gauge it, to see how you're doing with your healing progress. And I'm 67 years old, and I'm still dealing with stuff from 2, 3, 4 years old. So it never goes away. And there's that face again. It never goes away, but you can accept it, forgive yourself. And being a victim, you don't have to forgive yourself. You've done nothing wrong. But that's just the wisdom that I have learned from living with Leela, my little dog, is to be able to look at all these different situations from different people in my life, from my dog to my daughter to my son to friends, to family. It's really, really quite something. Twisting around doesn't really all make sense, but what the heck. It's my life. That's how it's working. So let's try again with, I'm liking these little tulip cards. They're kind of cute. Let's do the cards, and we're going to see what the energy is like today, February 24, 2022. Still doing that roller coaster ride, still having all of those horrible feelings, and lots of them this morning, but I didn't want to get into that in this episode. So we want to know how everyone's feeling today. And I'm just breaking them up like you do a tarot deck for a tarot reading. And this is the card. And it says, "Don't let the pain from the past drag you down, grasshopper. You are loved, grandmother." And that goes with exactly what I was talking about and what Leela has been telling the pet whisperer who told me that now I can talk to Leela about, which is stop focusing on the past, live in the present, live in the now. Breathe in, breathe out. Life is worth living. It really is. There's so many beautiful moments, so many moments of happiness and joy. We just have to, when we're creating them, to remember to feel it. Be saturated with the feelings, so when you're in those roller coaster rides of emotion, you have that memory of the joy and the feeling that it gives you when you're fully immersed in it. Thank you for spending some time with me. I always feel good about myself after I've spent some time with you. And I think the reason is because after I have done the videoing, and I have to listen to the full video, and I'm at 13 minutes right now. I have to listen to the full 13 minutes 2, maybe 3 times. So that's an hour of listening to me talk. And as I'm hearing myself talk and editing out what I do and what I don't want, I'm hearing more stuff. I'm hearing stuff from altars that I've never been aware of. So this editing is helping me to learn more about who is in my system. And maybe my going through this can help you with some of your issues. And that's what doing these videos every day is all about for me, is to share with you and help you to heal and grow. So I'll say goodbye for now, and I'll see you in the next one.